We are back in the studio with Elisa Waters Lane here each week. She takes this segment and just makes us all smarter as far as gardening goes.
I don't
I
know
just
about that.
feel like plus it takes some pressure off of me, so I don't feel the entire hour, and I get to spend 10 minutes, oh maybe more than that, with you in a little studio room here at the Garden Center, which I love.
Yes.
Okay.
I do too, dear.
That's what I wanted. That's what every man wants to hear.
Okay.
Anyway, what do you got for us this week? What are you going? What's the direction?
Well, I feel that song at Christmas that it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Yeah.
I feel like you should sing that for spring here. It's beginning to look a lot like spring. We have had multiple trucks in. So we're a little tired, a little dingy from that.
We're all good. It's what we live for.
It is. It is. It's just so exciting to get all this stuff in. You're like, ooh, we got that. Ooh, we got this. Oh, this is new. So it's a fun time of year to be in the garden center because it's all fresh and new and exciting.
To give you an idea of perspective, folks. So there's been so many trucks. So let's me think here. We've had not quite a football field. Think a semi-tractor trailer times a football field. It's just shy of that.
Yeah.
That many feet. And it's stacked from floor to that entire 8-foot ceiling, packed with dirt and plants. So it's spread out over, we're trying to fill up 2 acres of garden center. And so it takes a lot. So we probably have another, 3 or 4. And all the while, people are coming and buying it. So it's like they know it's coming. So they're tagging onto it. So you're trying to fill it up while people are buying it. So you bring more in. It's what we live for, but it's kind of that's the energy of spring. So for garden centers, most retailers, it's Christmas, it's Black Friday. It's here. It's garden center. It's spring. It's March and April. Kind of gets us going. So
it's fun. We love it.
Yeah.
So a couple things that are actually on the premise. I've talked about them before, but it's like
they landed.
Never quite sure until they show up, but they did show up. So the flamethrower redbud. Having a brain lapse.
Don't talk about those. You only have 15 of them. They'll be gone instantly. Talk about the other regular old redbuds.
We got all the old. We got the Oklahoma, Merlot. There's like 5 or 6
a weeping
different.
One. Yep, there's all kinds.
One. Yeah. But the coolest, newest one is the flamethrower. So that one has kind of what makes it different. It blooms out the same, that real dark pink blossom, but the leaves on it go from like a yellowish to green to orange, all on the same branch,
like a flamethrower.
Right. Hence the name. But pretty cool. I'm excited to see them leaf out. Of course, they're dormant right now,
right?
And I'm excited to see them bloom. Oh yeah. And then leaf out. That'll be really fun.
So redbuds, they're native for here. So there's a Western, a Mexican. There's several types that grow here wild. So once they get rooted, you can almost ignore them. They don't get too big. They live a long time. They kind of the bright blooms, spring blooms. They have great fall color. They got great big leaves for shade. They're kind of everything you want for the mountains of Arizona.
They really are. Super tree for here. So check those out. Plus we have all the old-fashioned ones as well.
Forest pansy. It's got a purple leaf. You got Oklahoma is a traditional Eastern redbud with a brighter flower, bigger, like a double flower. So there's lots of them, but all of them grow well here.
That is true. And then we also got, and we talked about the apple trees that had the braided braided trunks. We got those, and that's a Honeycrisp and a Gala. And they've kind of braided them, twisted them around each other. Really neat. What a neat thing to have in the yard.
No, you can't have one at our house. We've got enough. It's just like, but they are really cool. Although I bet you could grow that in a big pot.
Oh yeah,
one downstairs.
I bet you could.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Maybe you could have one. We'll see. They'll go quick. A braided fruit tree, like a braided hair, but they're taking the trunks, and so you get this funky two fruits on the same tree that grows up. I've never seen such a thing. How do they do this stuff? Who creates this stuff?
Crazy gardeners. We got some beautiful rhododendrons and huge. I mean, huge, almost as tall as I am. Huge.
Yeah.
They're beautiful and all budded up. They're going to be starting to bloom fairly soon here. Just absolutely gorgeous. If you've got the right spot for a rhodie, you need to put one in. So they kind of like that shaded, very filtered light spot, but most of them are evergreen. as well. So just beautiful plants to put in.
People don't realize you can grow azaleas, rhododendrons, hydrangeas, but you can. And the rhodies are the true evergreens. It's the hardy variety. They go down to minus 40, 30 degrees, something like that. But they get that great big flower. And deer, rabbits, javelina do not bother rhododendrons. Should be fine. Just give them shade.
Right. So check those out. We got the great big ones, and then we have some of the more dwarf varieties too. So if you have a smaller space to fill that's shady, you can put those in there.
Who wants a dwarf in the yard?
Well, sometimes you need smaller plants.
Okay, next to the patio. I'm thinking gnomes.
That's what you want. We also got the peonies. We talked about the peonies earlier. So we got a nice selection of peonies in. We also got, which is still dormant, but great time to plant some of the spireas, like the Renaissance spirea. Some of those more earlier spring blooming varieties are in. Lots of forsythia. We got a lot of bloomerangs in. So I know last year some people didn't get their bloomerangs because they ran out. So we've got a really nice selection of the dark purple, and then the one that's pink, Scent and Sensibility is the pink one, and then the dark purple one.
So those are lilacs that repeat bloom 2 or 3 times a year. Thus the name bloomerang lilac. And main thing is they're just shorter. They don't get they get maybe hip high. And so as a regular lilac gets well above head high. If it's a big shrub, these stay small, so you can have them wherever you want them now.
So there again, fits into the yards in many, many different places. I think I mentioned the forsythia, so we've got a lot of those in as well. I'm missing something. What was I going to talk about?
I would help you if I could. I did notice the barberries. I was putting those back. So barberries are really tough. Shorter, bright oranges, bright red shrub. Gets about knee high, or so it depends on the model. But they were starting to leaf out here in the garden center. So they're starting, you can see the very leaves, not big leaves, but you can see they broke bud, and now they've got tiny foliage. And by the time they get done, give them a month, they'll be this solid orange shrub that just glows out in the yard.
So that brings up a good point. So I've had people worried that, they're starting to leaf. Can I still plant it? I know we got cold. I just say, they're fine. They like the cold.
They like the cold. So don't worry about it. It's better to get them in the ground while before they fully leaf out. So they just adapt better when their roots are in the ground, in your yard, waiting there. So you really do. There should be some urgency with things like fruit trees, shade trees. You mentioned the redbuds, grapes, berries, things that are deciduous. They haven't quite leafed. They're about to. They're starting to wake up. You should really, really get those in the ground. It's not that you can't plant them after they're fully leafed. I mean, we sell a lot more grapes when they've got full leaves and grape clusters on them. But it's better to put them in before they wake up. So wake up on your timing. There's less transplant shock. There's a lot of benefits to planting early. Anyway.
One of the other things we got in that was kind of cool is a raspberry shortcake.
Oh, blueberry?
No, it's a raspberry.
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 Sorry, I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. Wasn't thinking.
But instead of brambling like most of your raspberries do, this one creates more like a shrub type thing. So great for containers. Smaller spaces there again. It'd be great.
That's in now. I missed that. So I'm sure I unloaded it. I'm sure I got the scars on my hands for it. I just didn't. They're all tied up, and it's kind of the loading dock is a mess when those trucks come in. There's stakes everywhere. There's tie tape everywhere. But it's when you get all done, you go, "What just happened?" Like a bomb went off. But no, it's a plant bomb.
So lots of new things, a lot of new conifers in. If you've been waiting, now is the time to come check out the availabilities.
So you're saying if you've been waiting, stop it.
Stop waiting.
You can plant. You're in the planting season. We're here. The ground is not frozen. You can put things in. Go for it. Water them right now until they leaf out. Every 10, 14 days. Keep it moist. Once they leaf out, water them once or twice a week at that point, and then you're good to go. All right. Thank you, Lisa. Ken and Lisa Lain, the Mountain Gardeners. Be right back after this.